President Trump just dropped a bombshell in the ridiculous case of the ultra-woke Manhattan DA, Alvin Bragg. Wait until you see the latest piece of evidence to emerge. It's an absolute game changer. And then you won't believe who's coming to Donald Trump's defense. It's the very definition of the age-old adage, truth is stranger than fiction. You are not going to want to miss this. Hey, gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your patron professor, here to help you stay sane during these insane times. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button, and let's dive right in. Look what President Trump just posted on Truth Social. It's a 2018 letter from none other than Stormy Daniels that literally destroys the entire sham hush money case against Trump. It reads, quote, "To whom it may concern, over the past few weeks, I've been asked countless times to comment on reports of an alleged sexual relationship I had with Donald Trump many years ago. The fact of the matter is that each party to this alleged affair denies its existence in 2006, 2011, 2016, 2017, and now again in 2018. I am not denying this affair because I was paid, quote, hush money, as has been reported in overseas owned tabloids. I am denying this affair because it never happened. I will have no further comment on this matter. Thank you. Signed, Stormy Daniels." Now, obviously, this is huge. Stormy Daniels, in a written letter, in her own sworn statement, overtly and explicitly admits that she never had an affair with Donald Trump. Obviously, this is only going to further complicate this case for the prosecution because several months back, the Daily Mail obtained a leaked letter sent to federal authorities in 2018, the same year Stormy Daniels wrote her letter. This letter was from Michael Cohen, the now disbarred and disgraced former attorney for President Trump, who's the New York DA's star witness, if you can believe it. In this letter, he explicitly denied ever receiving reimbursement from Donald Trump or his organization for making hush money payments to Stormy Daniels. The letter, which was written on Cohen's behalf by his attorney and sent to the Federal Elections Commission, reads as follows, quote, "In a private transaction 2016 before the U.S. presidential election, Mr. Cohen used his own personal funds to facilitate a payment of $130,000 to Miss Stephanie Clifford," that's Stormy Daniels' real name. "Neither the Trump organization nor the Trump campaign was a party to the transaction with Miss Clifford, and neither reimbursed Mr. Cohen for the payment directly or indirectly." Now, this revelation, of course, shatters Cohen's change of tune when he testified before the grand jury that Trump instructed him to pay $130,000 to Stormy Daniels to prevent her from revealing their alleged affair just days before the 2016 presidential announcement for Trump. And again, keep in mind, just to underscore how flimsy and brittle this case is, there's nothing wrong with Trump doing that. Even if Cohen's change of story was true, even if what Cohen is now saying is true, that's not a crime. What this partisan Manhattan DA is trying to do is he's trying to convict Trump of paying that money solely in relation to covering it up for the campaign, which would entail a campaign finance violation, which is a federal crime. The problem is that it's virtually impossible to prove that. How do you prove Trump's intentions were only totally limited to the campaign? And again, keep in mind, the Justice Department looked into doing just that, and they blew it off. So this Manhattan DA Bragg is trying to prove a federal crime that the Justice Department didn't think worthy of a charge. But now we've got two letters, one written by Michael Cohen, which denies that Trump had anything to do with paying hush money to Stormy Daniels, and one written by Stormy Daniels denying that there was any affair in the first place. You literally can't make this stuff up. And if you thought truth didn't get any stranger than fiction, wait until you see what Stormy Daniels' former lawyer is now saying about Trump. This is going to leave you speechless. Gang, you know I'm very passionate about the fact that we can't rescue our nation if we don't first take care of ourselves. And health actually starts with our livers. Now, if you think about it, we throw everything at our livers. Cholesterol, alcohol, toxins, Tylenol, statins, cigarettes. That's why so many of us have a sluggish fatty liver that makes us gain weight and lose energy. But gang, thanks to today's sponsor, there's a very real solution. Liver Health Formula. It's an all-natural supplement which contains 12 clinically proven botanicals that help recharge and protect your liver. It's manufactured right here in the USA, and it's approved by independent American doctors. And if you click on that link below, right now, you can try out Liver Health Formula and receive a free bottle of blood sugar formula when you order today. So don't let a fatty liver keep you sluggish and inactive. Gang, as many of you know, I myself recently lost over 60 pounds, and I can say it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. So now it's your turn. Click on that link below or go to getliverhelp.com/Turley and claim your free bonus gift. That's getliverhelp.com/Turley.
I think he will be convicted. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to hold up. I believe if you're going to bring a case against a sitting president or a former president who tens of millions of people support, especially in today's day and age with how divided we are, I think it needs to be a rock-solid, lock-tight, nearly perfect prosecuted case, because otherwise you run a huge risk as to what it's going to mean for the country.
That was the now disgraced, creepy porn lawyer Michael Avenatti, who's currently serving, I believe it's 19 years in prison for wire fraud and obstruction. And even he sees how ridiculous this whole case is. And remember, we call him the creepy porn lawyer because he originally represented Stormy Daniels. In a surprise interview on the ultra-leftist MSNBC from prison, Avenatti called the case against Trump, quote, stale, and that there's no way that Trump is going to get a fair trial in New York, which is a travesty of justice. And I appreciate, too, how he was also, ironically, very sensitive to the fact that that travesty may have the effect of politically disenfranchising tens of millions of voters in the nation. That's not how the political system is obviously supposed to work. We don't vote only for whom our permanent political class approves of. We vote for whom we, the people, approve of. And Avenatti wasn't done. He actually took to Twitter and railed against the gag order levied on Trump. If you don't know, the judge in this case, Judge Juan Merchan, imposed a gag order on Trump, which protects witnesses like Stormy Daniels and court staff from any comments Trump might have made against them. Avenatti wrote on Twitter, quote, "We can't be hypocrites when it comes to the First Amendment. It is outrageous that Cohen and Daniels can do countless TV interviews, post on social, and make money on bogus documentaries, all by talking shit about Trump, but he's gagged and threatened with jail if he responds." So it turns out a broken clock is right twice a day. Even Trump was taken aback by that moment of candor and honesty. Trump publicly thanked Avenatti for, quote, revealing the truth about two sleazebags who have, with their lies and misrepresentations, cost our country dearly, referring, of course, to Bragg and the judge, in this case, Juan Merchan, who imposed the gag order. By the way, for his part, Trump is basically telling this corrupt judge to shove it. If you don't know, the Trump legal team has laid out evidence that this judge should recuse himself because of a blatant conflict of interest in this case, given this judge's adult daughter's political activism.
If you watch the corporate media, you'd think that President Trump is attacking the poor innocent daughter of a judge, but actually the info about the judge's daughter has been public knowledge for quite some time.
It is, and it's not an attack on the daughter. It's an attack on a potential conflict of interest. This is a adult child of a judge who is directly involved in Kamala Harris's campaign in 2020 and has been involved in activist Democratic politics designed to defeat Donald Trump ever since. And so the family connections of a judge are usually fair game when it comes to conflicts of interest questions. Most people would point out these conflicts of interest in the news media until recently. And the Trump era, all of a sudden, the news media doesn't look at conflicts of interest. They didn't want to look at Hunter Biden's conflicts of interest. They don't want to look at the judge's conflicts of interest. But I think it's a legitimate game. Obviously, late last night, the judge extended his gag order to his daughter, so that is going to keep the president from raising those questions anymore. But those of us who actually know the facts can get them to the American people and let the American people know this isn't an ad hominem attack. This is a a question of her professional duties and the fact that the daughter of a sitting judge in a criminal case has a direct interest in the defeat of Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean, this case against Trump could not possibly get more sleazy and corrupt, whether it's the local DA trying a federal case that's completely out of his jurisdiction in the first place, to a court allowing such a case to proceed, to a judge slapping Trump with a gag order after openly pointing out his own blatant conflict of interest here, to even a creepy porn lawyer admitting that there's no way Trump could get a fair trial in New York. It's all one massive corrupt sleaze fest. And in the end, ironically, it does look like it's all going to ultimately work in Trump's favor. Hey, gang, I just wanted to give you a huge note of thanks to each and every one of you, the thousands of you that have recently clicked on the link below and joined our Insiders Club. As many of you know, we took a big hit from big tech. Our channel was completely and totally demonetized, but you, literally thousands of you, stepped in and you rescued me and this channel by bypassing big tech and joining our Insiders Club. You made it loud and clear to the Silicon Valley oligarchs that we're a movement, an army of like-minded patriots who refuse to be silenced by the international woke police. And so once again, I just want to take this moment to thank each and every one of you who have joined our Insiders Club for coming to our rescue. And for those of you who want to join in on the effort and take action, gang, just click on the link below and join our email list. That way we will never, ever, ever lose touch with each other, no matter what big tech does. So just click on that link below, join our email list, and become a part of an army of literally hundreds of thousands of patriots dedicated to taking our nation back, most importantly, together.